the next drill was, okay, the quiet Javelin turn in the drifted turn, where the inside ski gets crossed to stop this over rotation in the end of the turn. The tips of the pole on the ground, the frame, the upper body has to be there. Yes, the hip slightly turned to the outside, slightly. If someone has a good platform on the inside, it doesn't affect too much the knee. And that will be the exercise with the finish at turns and slightly up and down movement. It's again not about extension, it's about a reserve in the knee, a weight shift, build up a platform and unweight the inside ski and get crossed.
And in here you're making sort of almost like a stem out to set the turn?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Because there are different ways how you interpret this javelin. And because it's a wedge, so if you see the crossed ski is already in a wedge position. I don't want people to step back to parallel, because I think that, I know, then it's the danger that I lose the good aligned position end of the turn. Is actually means that the hip slightly to the valley, because it's a drifted turn, it's not a carved turn. I don't want that they go square to the ski,
right,
and open again a wedge. I try to imagine with the people that they have to, from this crossed ski, this stem out is a parallel movement. That means that with this movement, the hip is in the right place. I don't want to turn away. I want that it stays there. So if they're doing this stem movement,
okay,
then the hip goes early in the new direction, because we want to have anticipation. That means the whole upper body is, that's because it's slightly open to the valley, the downhill side.
and now you take that ski and place it on its edge.
Platform, and that means the hip goes this way. So it's already the inside like more bent, the outside like more extended.
Whereas if you'd put that parallel with that one, it would have brought your hip out of alignment, and also you wouldn't have been able to topple in the same way.
And the second, what it caused, that I'm trying already stabilize the ankle. So
right,
when I'm step out, I'm already in the air, stabilize the ankle and looking for a platform where to put the ski, and this is the inside edge.
okay. Because I've seen this drill done a number of times by other trainers, and it's been done wrong. The main thing I think trainers are doing wrong with this, Geri, is I'm watching them do this, and they are extending, for example, the right leg here, but literally extending it, like fully locking it onto its like edge, and I see everything extended at that point. Whereas I see, again, you're in reserve, soft. You've got tension in the ankle and you've got space in your knee here. Whereas I've seen people stretch the foot out.
Yeah, I need some feeling. So that means for me, I set the platform on the inside and I'm waiting for response from the ski. So that because it's somehow across the direction, because of the friction, I get some response and okay, this is it. I can transfer the weight, transfer the load. It means slightly unweight the inside ski. And if we go back a few frame, it goes as well that I got the ski, the old outside ski, flat. Not completely flat, but flat, and that's transferring the center of mass in the new turn. And then I have just match the boots together to be in a better balance, because if it's on the outside, it's hard to balance. And this is the idea.
Yeah. So there, guys, you see the flattening of the old outside ski, which flattens. Geri was picking me up on this on the plough turn, strangely enough, which we might have a chance to look at, that sometimes people aren't getting that ski flat in a plough turn we were talking about. So very interesting. So let's see how the group fared with this, because javelin turns, I'm sure they've done them before, but probably not the way Geri did them. So I'll be interested to see how their first attempt was with such a challenging drill.
So this is a complex exercise first try, let's see. And you see that every steps before is gone. This is a first attempt, means, oops, sorry, that actually there was drag the pole. Yeah. This is your help. I don't need that. Yeah, get back to basics. I don't need that you balance on one leg and wide stance with the boots, because it's not the way you do it. Yeah.
So did you burst into tears here, or did you stay calm and
stay calm? And yeah, this is it. And this guy did it much better before.
Yeah, when he wasn't thinking about it.
It wasn't that much thinking about, hey, what's about this? So, of course, if they're trying to do it with the wedge and lifting up, it's about a direct weight shift without time to build up the platform and lift up the leg. They're far away from the center. Of course, it causes balance problems,
especially with here, because he's stopping almost, and that's going to be impossible at such a low speed. Then you need some rhythm, some flow, and yeah. But it's great to see a first attempt from somebody when you give them a task, because here they have to process it in their brain. They've seen a good example of it in demonstration of it, so this is much better. This looks. Yeah.
But there you have the steps before. So dragging the pole, having the torque, having tension, a lot of tension in the upper body and the hands, and
so now we can just do it the ESF way. We can just get rid of the other three and just keep that one. Sorry, guys. That was
so the second
attempt.
We tried it once again. The points cleared. Okay, you have to close the boots, match the boots together. And
what do you mean by that, match the boots together? Close the boots?
That we want to have the inside boot on
toes to toes.
No, the boot is touching the other boot. So I want really that they're crossing the ski, so nearly touching the boot, because it's easier for balance. If you have two platforms,
right,
like standing there, and you have to lift up one leg, you have first to move.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to first move the whole weight on the outside to be able counterweight the foot on the inside. So if they have a good platform, then closer to the outside, to the balancing platform, it's much easier.
A bit loose on that one, and this one's much better on this one. A little closer. I think she's doing very well for this. Let's see how the guys get on, because he really struggled.
Creating platform. Now he tries to close a little bit. Yeah, with the ski tips hanging. It's coordination.
And it's interesting for me, because it's Dylan, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I see here is, from the biomechanics side, if I was tackling Dylan, is I think that he's having problem with tension, mainly because I feel he's tucked under. So what's happening is his hamstrings aren't actually firing here, and he's trying to balance on his quadriceps. So if you look at his back, it's almost like a butt wink style. It's sort of like his butt is tucked underneath, and this tucking underneath will bring the hamstrings together, so they're not like firing as such. And I feel like that's a stability issue. And you can see his actually upper body is bent almost forward as he comes round. So I feel like it's almost like just going to the basics, the terrible C word that I try not to use, not that C word people are thinking, but core stability, which people like to say nowadays. But if we look at everything here, it's rounded and forward. And I was explaining to Geri in the gym what can happen with your shoulders when you internally rotate the shoulder, creating a weakness in the midline in the central nervous system. And I think, you know, Geri's talking about his tension and everything. I would say this is almost without tension here. You know, he's really struggling to just get into that neutral position. If you look at Geri's position and back and how his elbows are positioned as well, you'll see he's just locked in a much better position.
But this is a new exercise, and what I see ski technically, that what missing here is actually the platform.
Yeah.
So he bends over the upper body, but not with the ankle. So it's not built up to the inside edge of the foot sole, and he tries already
to
stand and lifting up.
There's no edge,
and
nothing.
Because he too wide there, he try anyway to close. He has to move much more to be able to unweight and lift up the inside, and this causes the classical loss of the edge, and that's why he starts to slide, nearly hanging on the outside edge, completely flat, and now he tries to build up some edge angle and get there. So this is a timing problem. First you need the platform, a response, some force to create, let's say centripetal force you create, and this helps you to get the weight from the inside leg to the outside, so you can easily lift up and close it, and then you balance in a nice solid platform. If it's not there, the new platform is not ready to load, then you have to somehow to cheat the system, but what happens, you lose more.
And this again shows you how important it is, the grip, which is your edges, really is your grip. And if you can't activate this mechanism, then grip is always going to be an issue. You see that at intermediate level.
And this is what okay, this is a first and second button. So that's these exercises what I like to train to get the sensation, the feeling, where is the platform I want to balance on.
And do you find people with exercise like this sort of want to throw the towel in and give up because they don't feel like getting anything from it? I mean, how do you work with people like this? Because for me, especially guys, if they don't seem to get a reaction straight away, they're like, I can carve, I don't need this. They don't get it sometimes.
It's not something that you do over and over and over. So it's a drill for me, warm up. But first you have to learn the drill. So it's with understanding, and then if halfway is okay, then drive and lead the focus. Hey, focus on that you have a platform when you step in this wedge. Take time that you have the response from the ski. So these are the points. But first you have to get somehow in shape in this drill. I hope you understand what I mean. So it's not like, okay, I can do this immediately. There's so many things you can translate, okay, to the steering phase, that the toe goes uphill, to the position, to the release, the downhill side edge, end of the turn. It's always need to communicate what I'm looking for, why I'm doing this exercise. And this is the first, so yeah, it's a hard exercise. So definitely this is not like, wow, I can do it easily.
Yeah.
But for these guys who want to be better skiers, it's always motivating. I cannot do this. How can I do it better? What's missing? What's the missing point? And that's already okay. Let's train it. Let's try this.
So you would basically, there's no need, guys, necessarily to mass practice things all the time and think, okay, I've got to keep going until I get this perfect. Because what you're saying is you could just revisit it in another day, and hopefully then things,
I think
calm down.
the whole skiing steps and progression is you can switch anywhere, snowplow, and get more out from it. Because yes, we learned snowplow early as a kid, but always switching back, because there are the basics you can practice, you can get the smallest things to out from it, focus on edge change, focus on platform, focus on the balance, and go through the whole steps to the parallel or the carving skiing and link together. Hey, the start's already here and we want to get there, and whatever, it's warm up. So I definitely use snow plowing and this stem turns exercise a lot, because it's not at the same level. You have a level 1 and they're just showing the basics, and you have a level 4 instructor, and I want to see exactly, for example, what is about the release, what's the initiation of the turn, and all these small things, and get to the higher level skiing. And the guy skiing now, theoretically, the basic parallel turn without a pole plant, because that's what I want, that they have some parallel turns. It's not the basic, it's a
bit more active, yeah.
Active.
He's a little bit jumping onto that sometimes.
Jumping,
yeah.
yeah. You know, there was that, just ski some parallel turns and show something.
It's interesting to see them now have a little bit of release and a bit of a run down without having to do an exercise, just to enjoy the run. I think it's always important, guys, that everybody, you know, can have a bit of a break from exercises and actually go back to skiing as they want.
And back to the inside.
Interesting.
Tipping too much in the turn.
You can see the action of the inside pole as well. And it's actually, it's almost like he's pushed the ski, the inside ski has pushed the outside ski away.
It's a timing that the outside is not there and the inside is not released, not unweighted, then it can happen. But quick recovery.
Yes. Back to it.
And wider stance.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So all told, how did you then find that everything worked out? I mean, did you feel that you were able to project the message across that you wanted to the Landis One guys? Because they're very lucky that they got to ski with Geri for 4 or 5 days, I think it was. Yeah. And then they go to another instructor, and after that they go to another one. So they get different inputs, and each of our trainers is trying to give them their take on dynamic skiing. I mean, Geri had probably the hardest job, because what he had to do was pick them up from the sitting down doing nothing, coming fresh back on the piste. And if you notice, even though this was Landis 1, like going into the level 3, I like the way, for me, that Geri didn't just go, yeah, I've got a great group, I'm just going to go carving down here, and I'm going to do some short turns, and now I'm going to go on the moguls. He's actually went back and addressed just a medium-sized parallel turn, quieting the upper body down. I think we're singing from the same hymn sheet, because I do see trainers tackle this differently. When I give the trainers better groups, I often see them give a bit of gas and they're off, you know, which is a danger.
Yeah, but it's not to forget that after a few months, let's say nothing, go back on slope, and of course so we skied short turns as well and moved around, but to have these sessions that calm down, focus on your movements, focus on your body, build up sensation, because in the next weeks you need this as most important tool, that whatever you do, whatever is the drill exercise, you want to do it better. The first thing is it's up on you. So focus on this, feel the ski, feel your body, try to control and be aware what you do. And this is, for me, in this level of skiing, the most important thing, just try to build up some sensation that okay, I do what I want, and I know what I do. So.
And did you get a chance to ski some bumps with these guys as well?
Just a few.
Just a few?
Few runs, because it was on the second, third day.
Yeah. I think we had some low light as
we
well.
We had no, it's not about the light. It's about, we had this icy bumps.
Ah, right.
So I don't want to jump immediately in the bumps in the second days. It's that icy. We had some short runs to get the move from the legs and transfer, not the long turns, some short turns in the bumps, making them aware, okay, you have to choose your lines. So how to choose your lines, what to look for, a little bit strategy to give them, okay, how you solve the terrain, and don't be afraid the bump itself. You don't need the bump, you need the spaces between where you can turn, you can control and ski down. So yeah, we had the chance, but not real bump runs, just short sessions.
Good. And anything that you would have changed from this sort of session, or do you think this was were you happy with everything? Or?
If I look on the session like a 1 day session, I'm happy with this, because what I wanted, they finding themselves on the slope again. So the technique, the balance, what we talked about before, and these are, if you look at this, the small looks like easy drills, hands forward, drag, and some more movements, but you see it's already they're struggling a little bit. It's a second, third day, so it needs time, take time. I don't want to rush too much. We have time.
Yeah, we
have time, and this is something that they can always switch on and say, okay, I have to be aware of my upper body, on my hands, the torque, and the tangent.
I think what I take out of it as well is that how important it is that the trainers go off the hill and are able to take their shoes off, have a look at what they're doing when they think they're making initiation, anticipation of movement into the turn. You can actually see what the student's doing. And I think without doing that, you slow down the progress, really, because the understanding can only be there when people are sometimes on the dry land and actually see, and you can see what they're doing as well. You can check to see, are they really under tension in that angle, and are they stretching it out, or are they actually keeping something in reserve? So for me, I mean, it was great to watch this, because I don't feel I really need to critique this. There's nothing I would have, to be fair, would have almost duplicated everything Geri had done. Because I could see there was success to it. I could see there was shape building. And as long as we revisit like the difficult drills, such as the Javelin Turn, periodically over the next 20 days or 30 days, then they will get better at it. And hey, if every drill was easy, then they'd learn the whole ski manual in less than a year. You know, we'd all be great at it. And I think it just takes a little bit of time. And some drills, I've always said, suit some people, and some drills don't suit others, you know. So great. I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, once again, from an instructor point of view, or just as a recreational skier, join us at Ski Instructor Academy, because obviously we are very lucky to have, you know, that balance from right from the beginning to absolute expert level in our coaching, in our camps and clinics here. And I hope next year to see many more of you down here in this fantastic terrain in Bariloche, because it's not just about the skiing, is it? I mean, there's so much more here in Bariloche as well to enjoy.
It's an amazing place.
It is an absolutely amazing place. See you soon, guys. Bye for now.